All right, guys, good morning. Today is Friday, October 29th, and it is costume day for our Spirit Week, which is also the end of our Red Ribbon Week activities. We are going to today be doing ELA in the morning. Then in the afternoon, everyone's going to come back for Technology Day. You guys can play games. But also I am going to be asking some of you guys to finish some incomplete work. I will give everyone the opportunity to play though. And then at 12 o'clock, I'm going to ask all of my ELD students as well as some extra students to come back for ELD. And then all other students are working in read theory. We are not going to meet at 12:45 today. So if you have any missing assignments, you need to do those on your own during this time. I'm going to be having some meetings. So we are not going to be meeting at 12:45 today. Okay. And then at the end of the day, make sure your activity is posted on Dojo and to read a book for 20 minutes. Don't forget to turn in your art contest. If you haven't done that, you can submit it to me on Class Dojo, and then I'll turn it in for you. All right, guys, let's get started with our one assignment for today, and then we're going to do your tests for today. So your assignment is going to be your turn practice workbook, pages 79 to 80. Pages 79 to 80. So your turn workbook is your floppy book that says your turn on it with the sword. It's the blue book that you can write in. You can also go to Google Classroom. You can click on classwork, and then it'll be right here in ELA, and it'll say your turn workbook pages, and it's this book right here. Okay. So once you open that up, we're going to be on page 79 and 80. So let's go to page 79 right here and 80. Let's start with page 79. Read the draft model. Use the questions that follow the draft to help you add sequence words. Okay. Draft model. I saw a white tiger when I visited the zoo last summer. It was a very hot day and the white tiger was panting. He splashed around in a lake that surrounded his pen. Caretakers threw him giant ice cubes. He licked and ate the cubes that contained fruit. He moved to a shady area of his pen. Now, this is what a student wrote. What we're going to do is now we're going to make it better. When you guys write paragraphs and you guys have to submit them, it's always good to, before you submit, try and make your story or your writing better by adding more things. Okay, what does the white tiger do first? What does he do next? What event happened last? So here we're going to add sequence words to make our paragraph better. What words can you add to make the writing easier to understand? And what we're going to do is we're going to add those sequence words, and that's going to help make this writing easier to understand. Okay. Revise the draft by adding sequence words such as first, next, then, and last to help readers understand the order of events. So the first thing we need to do with any paragraph is we need to indent. We indent by either, if you're on the computer, you can do 5 spaces, or tab. If you're on Kami, you can just start right here. If you're on your own piece of paper, you can use 2 fingers and then like skip that amount of space and start writing. Okay, I saw a white tiger when I visited the zoo last summer. Now we're going to say what he did first, okay? So let's actually start with what's going on. It was a very hot day and the white tiger, I'm messing up, so I got to delete and make sure I write it correctly. White tiger was panting. Now, you notice that when you're continuing on to the next line, you start at the beginning of the line. You only indent at the beginning of a paragraph. So now we're going to tell you what he does, okay? First, so what he's panting because he's hot. So we're going to tell what he does first. First, he splashed around in a lake that surrounded his pen. So that's what he did first. Now, what did he do next? Well, next, it's not what he did, but next, it's what the caretakers do. Next, well, I guess you can actually, you know what? There are only 3 other things that he does. The next thing he does after he splashes around is he licks and eats the cubes. Then he moves to a shady area. So I'm not going to do next yet. First, he splashed around in a lake that surrounded his pen. That surrounded his pen. Caretakers threw him giant ice cubes. Okay, now what does he do next? So now we're going to add the next because this is what the tiger is doing. Next, he licked and ate the cubes that contain fruit. Ooh, so not only do they have ice, not only is it ice and it's going to keep him cool, but there's also something healthy in it for him. And then what happens last? Last, he moved to a shady area of his pen. Last, he moved to a shady area of his pen and then I'm going to add another detail to keep cool. Okay, so I went from this amazing paragraph to an even better paragraph by adding sequence words, and I added another detail. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to type it in the chat for you guys so that you guys have time to write it down. All right, so let's say it again. First, remember, skip lines to indent. First sentence, I saw a white tiger when I visited the zoo last summer. Period. That's the first sentence. It was a very hot day and the white tiger was panting. Page 79, guys. That's sentence number 2. Okay, Nicholas, please be appropriate in the chat. First, he splashed around in a lake that surrounded his pen. That's the third sentence. Caretakers threw him giant ice cubes, period. Next, no, I spelled that wrong. So that's why it's very important to always check your work. Next, he licked. He licked and ate the cubes that contain fruit. Then last, he moved to a shady area of his pen, and then we added to keep cool. Okay, let's see how many sentences. I saw a white tiger when I visited the zoo last summer. 1, it was a very hot day and the white tiger was panting. 2, first, comma, he splashed around in a lake that surrounded his pen. 3, caretakers threw him giant ice cubes. 4, next, he licked and ate the cubes that contained fruit. 5, last, he moved to a shady area of his pen to keep cool. 6. So we wrote 6 sentences and we want to write 4 to 6 sentences in a paragraph. So you guys did a really great job. All right, guys, if you need more time, go ahead and you're going to watch this on YouTube and you're going to pause the video. When you pause the video, it's going to stop me sharing or me like moving on so that you guys can finish. I also put it in the chat if you guys are in class. All right, guys, again, pause the video if you need more help. I'm going to continue to go on. We're on page 80 now. And then some of you guys are saying if you're using like the page numbers on Kami, because you're working on it in Kami, it is 89. But if you're in your actual book, you're going to be on page 80. Okay. All right. Stella used text evidence to answer the prompt. How are the turtles in both selections alike and different? Use details from both texts. The turtles in Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out, and At Home in the River are similar in many ways. They are also different in some ways. On page 166 of Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out, I read that the mother turtle covers her eggs with sand from the beach. The mother turtle from At Home in the River also covers her eggs. She covers them with dirt to protect them. The turtles are different too. In Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out, I read that the turtles are born in the sand and then swim to the ocean. The turtles in At Home in the River are born in the dirt and then swim in the river. The turtles are similar and they are also different. So this person decided to make a one sentence conclusion. That is okay. That is okay. However, we want to practice writing our conclusions within the paragraphs. All right. Underline the order of events from the ocean's turtle birth to its return to the ocean. So let's go ahead and underline. If you guys are at home, you can use your pencil. If you're using it on Cami, then you're going to use this drawing tool. I'm going to make the thickness 2. So what are the order of events from the ocean's turtle's birth to its return to the ocean? Okay, so from its birth, they're born in the sand and then swim to the ocean. So we're looking for that text evidence. Okay, next one. Draw a box around text evidence from either selection. Ooh, I like that. We usually look for things that are specific to the story, and we'll notice it by using page numbers. On page 166 of Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out, I read that the mother turtle covers her eggs with sand from the beach. I like how it gives us the page, so we know that it's text evidence from the selection, which is the story. Okay, next one. Circle the sentence in which Stella sums up her ideas. That's going to be your conclusion, and conclusions usually come at the end, and that's no exception for this one. Turtles are similar and they're also different. So the point of her writing this is to tell us that turtles can be the same, but they also can be different. There can also be things that are different about them. For example, in this one, you know, they're both turtles, they both have eggs, they both cover them, they both swim towards water, but one of them, they are covered in sand, one of them, they're covered in dirt, one of them, they go towards the ocean, one of them goes towards the river. And then last one, write a common noun that is used in the third paragraph. So this is paragraph number 1, this is paragraph number 2, this is paragraph number 3, and this is a short little paragraph number 4. So what is a common noun that is used in paragraph number 3? Any common noun is a person, place, or thing that is not specific. So you could say turtle, you could say sand, you could say ocean, you could say river, you could say dirt. You can use any of those. I'm just going to write the common noun turtle. All right, guys. And then that is it. If you need more time, and let me see if I can zoom out. Yep. If you guys need more time, you guys can rewatch this on YouTube, pause the video to get this done. All right, guys. The last thing, not the last, well, yeah, technically, the last thing we're going to do right now is I'm going to go over each of your assignments. All right. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Okay. What you guys are going to do is I'm going to go over each assignment and then we're going to do it together. So I'm going to go over your spelling test and then you're going to take it. I'm going to go over your vocabulary test and then you're going to take it. Selection test, you're going to take it. Comprehension test, you're going to take it. The reason why is because I am getting quite a few of you guys who are not getting your work done during class time. So this is going to be my way of making sure you do. Okay. Now, if you're one of my early finishers, if you're an early finisher, then what you're going to do is you are going to read a book or do something else while you wait. Okay. So if you finish early and you're like, Miss Park, I don't know what to do, go again, read a book, get a piece of paper, you can draw, just do something. Maybe you want to practice your typing. Okay. Maybe you want to look at online resources. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with our day. So the first thing you guys all need to do is you need to go to our weekly schedule. You can find your weekly schedule in multiple places. You can go to classwork, go to Miss Park's website and weekly schedule, and it's going to be this link. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Oh man. I mean to click on it. Okay. Ay. You can also find our weekly schedule in my website. You can also find my schedule in the website, or you can also just click in the chat, and I just put it in the chat for you guys. All right. What you're going to do is once you open that up, you are going to take your spelling test. So everyone's going to click on their spelling test right now. Open that up. And then you know what? I'm also going to just put it in the chat for you guys. Erin, we're going to talk about that later. Okay. Okay. I just put it in the chat. Now, what you guys are going to do is you are going to make sure you didn't accidentally click vocabulary. It's going to say Unit 2, Week 3 spelling. You're going to make sure there's 15 spelling words, and then you're going to click spelling test. I need all students to take their test right now. Take your test, and then after you're done taking your test, you need to go to Google Classroom. You need to go to Miss Park, 2nd grade. You need to go to classwork. You need to scroll all the way down to ELA Gradebook Friday, and I'll put it at the top of ELA. Open that up, and then you're going to open up your Google Sheet. Okay. Now, when you open up your Google Sheet, what you're going to do is you're going to find your column for Unit 2, Week 3. It is going to be the orange column. You are going to be in the orange column. What you're going to do is in that first white box, you're going to put your score for spelling. In that first white box, you're going to put your score in for spelling. And then to show me that you're done, you're going to click out of the box. What are you going to do? Click out of the box. Okay. All right, guys. So everyone, I should see you guys taking your spelling test now. I'm going to be checking in GoGuardian. All right. Once you're done with your spelling test, you're going to go back to our student copy of our weekly schedule. And now you're going to click on our vocabulary test. If you're in class, I'll copy and paste this link in the chat. Make sure you take your vocabulary test with your vocabulary words. There's 8 of them. Click on vocabulary test. And then once you get your score, you're going to put your score in the orange box. So let's say you got like a 90% on your spelling test. Now you're going to take your vocabulary test, and let's say you get 100. And then what do? You click out of the box. So everybody now, after you're done with your spelling test, take your vocabulary test. All right, once you're done with that, now you're going to take your selection and your comprehension test. So click on the waffle, and then scroll down to McGraw-Hill Education. Then you're going to click on your Blue Wonders Grade 2 book. Once you get to Wonders, you're going to make sure you're in Miss Park's class. And then you're going to, once you get to Miss Park's class, you're going to click on To Do, the green button. And then you're going to click on My Tests. Now you're going to see 2 tests. If you see more than 2, then you got to get those other ones done too. So go ahead and take those 2 tests. I would start with the selection test first. That's going to be the one that says Unit U2 W3 selection test. Turtle, watch out. Because After you take that one, you're going to get your score. And then what you'll do is you'll put it in your grade book in the white box. And then once you're done with your selection test, you guys are going to take your comprehension test and then put that in the orange box. All right. And that's it. Once you've put all your scores into your grade book and you click out of the box, what are you going to do? Click out of the box. Then you've finished all 4 of your ELA assessments. All right. I would like all of you guys to stay in class and get all of those done right now. But I'm going to end the recording since that was all of the instruction for today.